Dr. D. Lakshmanamurthy Garu, organized by Sun Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Kakupalli, Nellore. Now, I request into our beloved Principal Sir, Dr. Sekhar Sar Garu, to introduce today's speaker. Thank you, sir. Over to
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning to everybody. Today's our guest of delivering the speech is Dr. Lakshman Garu. He has completed his PharmD from Raghavendra Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Anantapur. He has joined as a drug safety associate in Bioclinica, where he had worked for more than 3 years on drug safety. Now, presently, he is in IQA Private Limited, where he is working as a drug safety associate, drug safety officer for medical devices. So, I request Dr. Lakshman Garu to proceed into his guest lecture today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a minute, sir. I had a problem.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Hi guys, respected principal sir of cyber as well as academic staff. Very good morning to all, and to the pharmacists who are going to come into the coming out of the college. A very warm welcome to all of you. So before starting my session, I just want to give a brief introduction of myself. Myself, Dr. D. Lakshmanamurthy. I pursued my PharmD graduation from Raghavendra Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Anantapur, Andhra Pradesh, from 2009 to 2015. After securing my PharmD graduation, I entered into pharmacovigilance sector because while doing my graduation itself, I used to think of pharmacovigilance as a blooming opportunity, and I just wanted to work in a corporate institute. So I pursued my once I pursued my graduation, I entered into pharmacovigilance in Mysore. So once I started my career as a fresher in pharmacovigilance, okay, as a drug safety associate, and after 3 years, I promoted as a senior drug safety associate in different levels after getting promotions, and I moved out of Bioclinica and I pursued my next career. Because of career growth, I changed into IQA in Bangalore. It's a CRO where I joined as an operations specialist, level 1, and my current role is quality review. This is about me, a brief introduction. So today my topic is on medical literature and its importance in pharmacovigilance. Before going to medical literature, I just want to tell you guys about pharmacovigilance, because without knowing it, I don't think so you will come to understand everything. Just a minute, I'll be sharing my screen shortly. One second. Can everyone see my? Can anyone confirm me whether you are seeing my screen? Hello. 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 Uh, um, Hello. Can anyone confirm me whether you are seeing my screen or not?
హలో
Yeah. Hi.
సార్ స్క్రీన్ కనిపిస్తుంది సార్, మీరు కంటిన్యూ చేయండి.
Thank you very much. So, okay, like I told you, my topic is medical literature monitoring and its importance in pharmacovigilance. Okay, so just a minute. Okay, yeah. Okay, so before going to medical literature, just we'll be having a discussion on pharmacovigilance. So the pharmacovigilance, as per I think everyone know about pharmacovigilance. Pharmacovigilance is two words, which from Greek pharmakon means drug, as well as vigilare is from Latin word, which is meaning keep watch. Okay, so the pharmacovigilance, as per WHO definition, it is collection, detection, monitoring, assessment, and prevention of adverse drug events due to pharmaceutical products. I hope since 1951 we have the U.S. Food and Drug Administration started pharmacovigilance because of the thalidomide disaster. I hope everyone knows that. So just to know that pharmacovigilance, as per book knowledge or else as per academic knowledge, is different, and as per industrial knowledge sector, it is a total different approach. So I just want to give highlights on how we are processing a case reports in industrial sector. As per the definition, the collection of forms, adverse reactions. So when a patient or else any person who is using a pharmaceutical product, if he or she has some problems or any problem identified with the pharmaceutical product, it will be notified to the pharmaceutical companies or marketing authorization holders. Okay, so those reports will be sent to the pharmacovigilance department from the pharmacovigilance in the marketing authorization holders department or as pharmaceutical company, whereby the reports will be assessed based on the guidelines. The pharmacovigilance guidelines for assessment of these ICSRs or else aggregate reports with GVP module 6 or else GVP module 7. Based on that, the reports will be assessed whether the reported event or else reported incident is due to the pharmaceutical product or else company's pharmaceutical product or company's device or anything else. So after clearly assessing the report, the monitoring starts. If the reports or else the incident is very severe, then the health authorities, as the reports will be submitted to the regulatory authorities, the regulatory authorities will be keeping a close monitoring on those adverse events regarding to the pharmaceutical products. So these type of special monitoring situations from the regulatory authorities will be considered as watch list events. So when a watch list event is there, then the regulatory authority will be keeping a close monitoring on these adverse reactions. So the stages in pharmacovigilance, since the once the ICSRs identified at the marketing authorization holder or else the pharmaceutical companies, it will be proceeded. It will be as per the regulatory authorities. The documents or else the cases has to be database in a specific database, so that when a health authority or regulatory authority required to see the cases, it will all be collated and submitted via an aggregate report or else periodic safety update report. It will be done every 6 months or else 3 months based on the product. Okay, so once so because of that, all these reports or individual case safety reportings will be databased in the case. Once 3 months or else the data log point is a time point where from this time to this time, for example, a 6 months, if it is a 6 months means from the first month to end of 6 months, all the reports ICSRs will be collated and aggregately generated a report. So once these reports are generated, it will be clear that whether the specified event is generating a signal or not. Okay, if a signal is generated from these collated reports or else a periodic safety update report, then the regulatory authority will initiate this initiate a ban or else to keep a close eye on those products. Ideally, since if the benefit or risk evaluation, based on the benefit or risk evaluation report, the regulatory authority will keep the drug in a closed way or else in an open way. Like if the benefits are more than the risk, then the regulatory authority will give the pharmaceutical companies a specific time set so that the issues will be minimized. If not, then the product will be banned. If the benefits, if the risks are maximum than the benefits, then the product will be banned, and a ban or else an issues and certificate will be sent to the pharmaceutical company, so that the pharmaceutical company will monitor what is the issue, why the issue came, because of the drug or else because of the active ingredient or the pharmaceutical excipients. So a time limit will be provided to the pharmaceutical company to identify because of active pharmaceutical ingredient or else due to the pharmaceutical excipient the specified risk or else adverse event came. So that the pharmaceutical company, if it is due to the excipients, then the formulation can be changed, and once after approval from the regulatory authority, it can be testified. If not, the drug will be totally banned. So these are the minimal process. If I have to go in depth regarding this one, it will take a year to explain each and every process in depth. So that as a time is very limited, I just gave you a brief introduction of pharmacovigilance and how the cases will be processed as per ICSR as well as aggregate reporting. Well, coming to the ICSR part, once the reports are collected at the pharmaceutical companies, it will be first thing we have to do is we have to intake the reports. First, we have to intake the reports. At intake, there are four important criterias we have to take care. Without that, a case could not be processed or intaked. So the four important criteria is suspected product, suspected medicinal product or else suspected product, suspected adverse event, the reporter or else investigator in clinical trial cases, reporter in case of solicited and spontaneous cases, and the final important thing is patient. These are the four valid criteria. Without these four valid criteria, the cases won't be intake. There are some limitations to this also, as if a patient, a suspected reporter as well as suspected patient is or else identifiable patient is not there, even though a case will be created based on an invalid case report. So it won't be reported to the health authorities. And if all these four reporting criteria are, or else are these four identifiable criteria are there, then only an ICSR will be submitted to the health authorities. Okay, so coming to the medical literatures, I hope everyone know about literature. A literature is a concise and structured document with information end to end regarding the aim, objective, methodology, exclusion criteria, inclusion criteria, as well as results, primary objectives, secondary objectives, results, everything. And so the medical literature. Okay, the medical literature is a significant source of information for this pharmacovigilance because it's everything will be there. So safety profile, risk benefit balance, medicine regarding information about medicinal products. In relation to this medical literature will be considered if it is having new signals or emerging safety issues. So from this medical literature, it will be easy to identify everything. So why medical literature? Because why medical literature will be considered in pharmacovigilance? Everyone would have known. So there are so many literatures are there. So why it is important? Why medical literatures only will be considered in terms of pharmacy? See, if we have to take a medical, if we have to take information from a literature, then it should have some criterias like large sample size. I think everyone, I don't know about most of you people, but everyone would have been like the final year students as well as internship students and the professors as well as staff. They would have known about this well because they surely would have done their project works. And so it will be clear that a large sample size will be there in medical literature cases. It is not at all required. Large sample size is not only an important thing. Even if a case report or else a single patient report is there, then we will be considered it as a medical literature because it will be having the medicinal product, adverse event, reporter as well as patients. So all the required reportable information regarding regulatory authority will be there. So medical literature will be having this large sample size. After that, health professional. Since this medical literature, other literatures or other things, it won't be a medical reporter. It doesn't has to be from the health professional. So health professional, he or she, they will be responsible for this literature report, and they will be whatever the adverse events or else other properties, what they will do, it will be from the medically important or else medically significant perspective. If a report is not medically significant, then I don't think so it will be reported to regulatory authority. After that, end-to-end information, like I already told you, the literature report will be having a name, objective, method, and inclusion exclusion criteria, results, as well as discussion along with the referenced articles. So when the information is full, then it will be easy to the regulatory authorities or else the report when it is getting it is getting submitted to regulatory authority, that not even a single information is missed from it. So after that, attribution. So I don't think so anyone of you know about attribution. Well, it is a industrial term. Attribution is nothing but relationship or else causality. The relationship deals with any relation with the suspected product in terms of suspected event. This is the main and important criteria. If it is not there in this literature, then the cases won't be submitted or else the cases won't be databased, and ICSRs will not be created from this literatures. See, because the major criteria for the medical literature is attribution. Without attribution, an ICSR won't be created and it won't be databased at all. So after that, articles relevant to the safety of medicinal products are usually published in well-recognized scientific and data medical journals. Since regulatory authorities is insisting that medical literature has to be identified by the pharmaceutical companies or else medical authorization, excuse me, medical authorization holders, so that they will be monitoring these adverse drug reactions or adverse events. So these pharmaceutical companies or else medical authorization holders are obliged to collect the information from the repeated or else well-known journals. So ideally, as per evidence-based medicine, I hope everyone would have known how to track a literature from the journals or else other respected um, uh, respected references, like not only indexed journals or else other journals. So here at pharmacovigilance industry, we will be using databases such as Medline, Experta, Medica, or Embase, Lisa, Library and Information Scientific Science Abstracts, GLAD, Global Literature Assessment Database. So these are some databases where the repeated or else the more indexed journals will be there. So a pharmaceutical company will be like they will be searching for the respected pharmaceutical products in these databases. It will be like from it will be like from this point of time to like if for a product, if we do on day one, after day seven again will be after it's like a weekly search criteria. This will be done because there is no no confusions or other things which will which will make the duplicate cases, because it will be duplicate cases. So from time to time it has to be done, and the cases has to be checked for the reportability, and ICSRs will be done and it will be reported to regulatory authorities. It will be discussed in depth in next slide. Okay, so medical literatures, the reporting of medical literatures, it will be of two types in pharmacovigilance. So that is study literature as well as spontaneous literature. In study literature, for randomized clinical trial, solicited, non-solicited, prospective observational study, meta-analysis, systematic review, everything will come. The difference between study literature and non-study literature or spontaneous literature is study literature will be done in a way that everything will be in a precise manner, like as per the protocol, or else it will be done in a way that everything will be protocol mediated. And spontaneous, it doesn't has to be protocol mediated. Like it might be a single patient report, it might be a group of case studies where it will be identified. Like see, for example, a physician, I'll give you an example for a clear understanding. For spontaneous cases, a physician, a physician will be identified giving a new set of uh, pharmaceutical product or else important medicinal product to the patient. So he identified in a one patient that there is some adverse drug reactions or serious adverse drug reactions. Then the physician or else the investigator or else a health professional, he'll be reporting those adverse drug reaction information to the regulatory or else pharmaceutical companies, or else he will be if it is such an important information, he will share the information via literature. He will post. that information as a case safety or else case report. Or if there are multiple patients having same type of adverse reaction from the same reporter or else same health professional, then he will keep all the information and submit literature report in the journals. Okay, so there there is no specific protocol, there is no inclusion criteria, there is no exclusion criteria in terms of spontaneous cases. But for study cases, the health authority, not health authority, sorry, the health professional or else physician or else investigator, they will be having a specific set of protocol. They will be having an aim regarding the subject or else regarding the protocol, the aim regarding to the medicine. Excuse me a minute. Uh, Sorry. So there will be an aim, objective, methodology, as per related to the protocol. So the difference is like this. Uh, Study literature will be in a systematic way, so that everything one step after that another step will come into effect, after that another step will come into effect. So it will be like in a systematic approach. And whereas spontaneous cases, it will be identified by the HCP at a time from the patient, and it will be submitted or else it will be it will be sent to the literature. So ideally, among these four, actually, when we are creating or else when literature is uh, identified or else submitted at a journal, no, no, when a literature has to be ICSR has to be created from the literature or else medical literature topics. These four randomized control trial, prospective observational studies, meta-analysis, and systematic review. These are the important informations to be considered. Ideally, no cases will be created from a randomized control trial, because randomized control trials or else RCTs are as two types. RCTs sponsor mediated or else a pharmaceutical company. If a pharmaceutical company is doing a clinical trial, then it will be considered as sponsor mediated randomized control trial. If it is a non-company or else it's a business partner mediated, then it will be considered as non-partner mediated randomized control trial, or else non-sponsored company non-sponsored randomized control trial. So if as per the regulatory authorities, any clinical trials that has to be done, it has to be submitted within 7 calendar days. So if company sponsored clinical trial is going on, so all the information or else SAEs will be submitted to the regulatory authorities within the specified time. So those literature, those cases if mentioned in these literature articles, it won't be considered for ICSR. So, and the second thing is non-company or else non-sponsored clinical trials. This will be from the business partners or else non-company, non-company pharmaceutical or else non-pharmaceutical companies. Whereas the our medicinal product, our important medicinal product will be there in terms as a placebo or else comparator or else like that, it will be there. So that when it will be identified, and as per the pharmaceutical companies, the related important medicinal product information will be submitted to the health authorities. But when they published the articles and when we searched and we identified the company important medicinal product, it will be identified whether it is a company mediator or non-company partner studies. If it is a non-company partner studies, then ideally it has to be database at our pharmaceutical companies. So all the information will be considered, and an ICSR will be created from those literature or else non-company partner literature cases. And prospective observational studies. Observational studies, I hope everyone would have known. It might be company mediator or non-company partner mediator or else non-sponsored mediator. And meta-analysis and systematic review. These will not be considered for databasing a case or else an ICSR, because meta-analysis or systematic review is not. It will be like it is. It involves tracking or in fact addition of information from already published information. So these information are not directly given, and it won't be considered as what we'll say. It won't be considered as a genuine information. So this won't be considered in terms of creating an ICSR. But the important information, if a single report is there from this meta-analysis or systematic review, then if or else a single patient information is there, then it will be considered for ICSR creation and reporting to the health authorities. So after that, we'll come to importance of this literatures. Relevant published abstracts from meetings and draft manuscripts should be reviewed for valid ICSRs. Like I said, ICSRs are individual case safety reports which will be submitted to the regulatory authorities in a timely manner in the specified timelines. I'll be telling you the timelines once we go through this day zero. Okay, so why why are we searching for these literature cases? Why are we creating an individual case safety reports from these literature cases? What is the importance of it in pharmacovigilance? Like I already told, SUSAR or else periodic safety update reports or else periodic benefit risk evaluation reports. In normal terms, in or else in layman terms, these are called as aggregate reports. So what is the importance of PSER, PEBRAR or else PADR reports? So as per once the product is or else important medicinal product is marketed or else after phase 4 studies. Okay, so the regulatory authorities will be obliged to the no, pharmaceutical companies will be obliged to share all the reports to the regulatory authorities in a specified manner, so that it will be collating all the information, all the adverse drug reactions identified in a specified time set, and it will be the regulatory authorities will check whether these any of these adverse drug reactions are generating a signal. So if a signal is generated, then we'll come according to the risk benefit risk evaluation report, so that the risks are less than the benefits with the important medicinal product. If the risks are less than the important medicinal product benefits, then the regulatory authorities will keep a close watch on those events which are having risk or which are having generated signals. So these are all the importance of PEBRAR. So what is the importance of literature in terms of PEBRAR or PSUR? There is a special set or else there is a special area where the literature cases or else the medical literature cases will generate much more signals than the spontaneous solicited internet digital media cases, clinical trial cases. The literature cases will give a much more impact on this signal generation. And my first slide, I clearly stated that the medical literature is a significant source of information for the monitoring of safety profile and of the risk benefit balance of medicinal products, particularly in relation to the detection of new safety signals or emerging safety issues. So this is the importance of literature in terms of PSUR. So that's why we are doing all these why literature cases, why we have to check for literature cases, why it has to be done in a timely manner, and what is the importance of it. So important terms to be considered in processing literature cases. The major important term is day zero. Like I said, a specific set of people will be there to search for the literature cases in a timely manner. Like for example, from Monday we searched for our medicinal product regarding one drug, regarding or else in a specific time point, like from Monday to Monday it will be searched. So any literature or else any abstract or else any full text article, it will be published in any journals, respected and reputed journals. It will be all collated and it will be searched. So once all the information is once the information is searched from that database, it will be identified whether these are all regarding to the important medicinal products. And that whenever we are collecting the information from the um, database, or else when we are identifying the information from the journals, those day is called as day zero. And let me tell you what is the impact of day zero. Day zero, or else ICH date, or else latest received date, is a date where it will be having an impact of submitting a case to the regulatory authorities. Before telling to the day zero, I'll give you timelines. See, this is for literature timelines. Serious literature is having 12 calendar days. Before this 12 calendar days, it has to be submitted to the regulatory authorities. And for non-serious literature cases, 15 calendar days. Special population or special reporting scenarios such as pregnancy cases, as well as medical reporting, medical abuse, off-label use, medication error, and other sort of cases which will be coming in the special scenarios. Those are all considered as special reporting scenarios as well as special population. All these cases has to be submitted to the regulatory authorities in the 12 calendar days. So once we submit it to the regulatory authorities in respected cases, then it will be actually the documents or else case report will be submitted in a form of COMs. I hope everyone would have known about COMs. Okay, so I'm not going deep into the COMs. COMs is an identifiable and it is a format where all the countries in the world accepted that they will be submitted their case as individual case safety reports in terms of COMS format to the regulatory authorities, so that every country will be on a same page. I hope you all get my point. So COMS, and I hope not all countries will follow the same COMS format, because United States of America or else US FDA, it will be following a specific format known as MedWatch form. So I hope everyone knows that US will be doing opposite to every other people or else every other country, because I don't know what is wrong or else why those people will be thinking in that way. So every for US it will be following a MedWatch form. Okay, so I have to submit all these reports in a timely manner, so that it will be allocated, it will be checked and monitored, and a detailed report will be submitted to the regular pharmaceutical companies by the regulatory authorities. Okay, so that is the importance of day zero. A case has to be submitted within 12 calendar days. That means from the day of identification of literature, it has to be detected whether uh, us- our important medicinal product is there or not, as well as suspected event is there or not, as well as attribution. Like I already told you, any literature case that has to be database, or else an ICSR has to be created from the literature case. It should have an attribution or causal relationship towards the pharmaceutical product as well as adverse drug reaction. I hope while you guys read pharmacovigilance, I hope everyone would have known that WHO causality form like unlikely, likely. There are five important criteria as per the WHO. Okay, likely, unlikely, probable, possible, and not accessible. Okay, all these five criteria are there as per the WHO assessment form. But not all pharmaceutical companies will follow the WHO assessment form. So the causalities or else the attribution will should be possible or else related in terms of clinical trial cases and possible in terms of spontaneous solicited cases. Okay, so before that I'll be telling what are all the causality factors in terms of solicited and related. In solicited it will be like possible or else not related. If it is not related, then no literature ICSR will be created from the literature article, and it should be a possible. Okay, so from study perspective, it should be like it will be possible, not related, not reported, as well as not accessible. But like I already told you, a literature ICSR, if it has to be created, then ideally it should have a related or else possible attribution or else possible causal relationship, without which it it is not possible to create an ICSR. Even though if an ICSR is created and submitted to health authority, the health authority will come back to the pharmaceutical company stating that why are you doing this? Your company product or else your IMP is not causing the event. What is the fun in reporting non-event or else a non causal related case? Do you think pharmaceutical health authority is very free and like it will be a never-ending process to the pharmaceutical company as well as regulatory authorities? In fact, there will be a sanctions to the pharmaceutical company if sorry, my apologies. If any wrong or else any problem identified from the any deviation in respect to the reporting of regulatory reports or else ICSS to the regulatory authority, it will be resulted in a CAPA to the pharmaceutical companies. You know, CAPA means corrective action and preventive action. I don't want to go in depth because it will go again in terms of pharmacovigilance. It will be deviating from the medical literature. So okay, so once identification of cases from journals or else Yeah. Sorry, guys. There is a important call that I have to take. Without that, it won't be possible. So anyway, uh, okay. So coming to duplicates. So duplicates. What is duplicates? I know everyone would have done like my duplicate won't be there. I hope. So duplicates in terms of pharmacovigilance. A duplicate case is nothing but creating a same set of case or else same patient information and submitting to the health authority. See, health authority will be landing up per day with like n number of cases. There will be thousands and thousands of cases with a single pharmaceutical product. So the health authority will be identifying and monitoring each and every cases where they will perform a duplicate search to see that whether a same patient is again and again are getting reported to the health authority, or else the same ICSR, the same patient information is submitting to the health authority repeatedly. If the same event and the same patient information is getting submitted to the health authority repeatedly, then the problem is like the signal will be more unnecessarily. The pharmaceutical company, they themselves are generating a signal and they themselves are landing upon with kappas, and they themselves are landing upon with uh, uh, sometimes if the signal is more than the regulatory authority will issue a ban or else issue a stop to the product till time 6 months or 1 year that they have to rectify all the problems and they have to report the reports properly. So any literature cases, if it is submitted, not only literature case, any cases, any ICSR that is getting submitted to the health authorities, it should not be submitted again. Any patient ICSR, it should submit once, and an ICSR should have one patient information only. Okay, so for that reason, when literature cases are identified, or else are identified via the database, when the search criteria, by using search criteria, when a search is populated and cases are identified, those cases will perform in a duplicate check in the existing database. So for duplicate, the important information is, ideally I'll tell you what are the important facts that you should be considered in terms of normal duplication, duplicate check, as well as a literature duplicate check. In normal duplicate check, the country, primary source country, and primary reporter details or else patient details will be checked. The patient details is important in terms of this duplicate check process. So all the patients won't be having same set of problems. If for example there is a patient, their names is same, their age, their country, everything is same, then again we'll go to the reporter section. From where, who is the reporter, whether both reporters are same or not. Okay, so okay, if they are not different, then these cases are different. If they are same, okay, then again we'll go to what are all the product they used, what is the dose of the drug the patients took. So the duplicate process will be going so on, so on, everything. So every criteria it will be checked. If two cases are having same information, then that will be considered as a duplicate process. And the information which is available after the version, previous version, then it will be considered as a new version to the previously submitted information. Okay, so in literature, it will be a different process because literature, they won't follow all this process at first. For literature cases, the primary importance is the citation. I hope everyone know about citation. Citation includes author details, author names, as well as ISSN number, page numbers, digital object identifiers, as well as a publication date, issue number, volume number. All these things are there. So for searching or else for doing a duplicate search for literature cases, it will be an important and it will be an interesting task, because not all cases will be having same set of information, right? So once we do all this, and if a literature or else article is not at all database in a company's database, then a new ICSR will be created. If not, then if it is also already a pre-existing information, then the information will be made as uh, a new version to the previously existing data. Okay, so before that I have to tell you one more thing here. Actually, there are two sets. So because I didn't tell you this earlier, because these are all a core pharmacovigilance information as per the industry. Okay, so I just want to tell you, okay, what is there are two important aspects in terms of ICSS, that is or else collection of data, that is E to B, R2 pathway and R3 pathway. So currently, most of the companies are following R2 pathway, and some topmost companies they are following it to be R3 pathway. I'll just tell you R2 pathway. See, I'll tell you an example. For example, Ranbaxy manufactured Cipla drug. Okay, so it will be given to the patients. The patient took the drug. The patient took the drug. He took the drug for fever. Suddenly he got headache, and it is a severe headache. So he'll report the same thing to the physician or else health person. So once it is reported, then the health authority person report the same thing to the pharmaceutical company. The pharmaceutical company will send the collected information to the uh, uh, booking or else intake team. The intake team will check, and they'll create an ICSR. The ICSR will be done. It will go several processes such as data entry, quality review, medical review. Once all information is verified and the information is database in our company's database, then the report will be submitted to health authority in terms of a COMS document. Okay, so this is R2 pathway. There is an R3 pathway. R3 pathway, whereas the person or else consumer or else patient, anyone. Okay, so they will be they will be directly reporting their adverse event or else adverse drug reaction to the regulatory authorities. So regulatory authorities will collate all these type of information, and they will share that information to the pharmaceutical companies, stating that your pharmaceutical product is having these many adverse drug reactions. So you have to go through once and provide a report stating that it is related to your product or not related to your product. We need a report for that. So this is R3 pathway. So in duplicate process, the R3 pathways, ideally in European countries, there is a medical literature monitoring that is a part of European vigilance. Else, you know, you guys all know, I think European Medicines Academy, okay, or else European Medicine Association, right? So pharmacovigilance, UDRA vigilance, I hope everyone would have known. So medical literature monitoring is a part of UDRA vigilance, whereas it will be collecting all medical literatures from repeated or else what we will say high cited journals, everything. Okay, from journals it itself will collect in terms of available medicinal products. Okay, IMPs, it won't be go as per company specific, but instead it will go as per generic term. For example, the regulatory authority, they will give a simple generic term stating that um, acetaminophen. Okay, acetaminophen, they'll do as such all reported information or else all medical literature available in the journal, it will be identified at the medical literature monitoring. So all the information will be collated at MLM. So it will be shared to the pharmaceutical company stating that we identified these many cases, you are sending less number of cases, because the health authorities will be very what we'll say, they will be very stringent in terms of patient safety information. So what else if the company is company is getting like 1 lakh reports and they are submitting only 1,000 reports to the regulatory authority. So in terms of bias, there is a chance of bias if we only trust the pharmaceutical company. The regulatory authorities will do literature monitoring from their perspective, and the if the duplicate check will results, there are more than n number of cases at this companies. Okay, then they will share that data to the respected pharmaceutical companies or marketing authorization holders. So they'll ask a report stating that why these cases are not submitted to us, whatever. So submit these reports in the respected timelines. So these type of cases they will be already reported from health authorities. Okay, they will be having a health authority number. Ideally, in R2 pathway, if we submit an ICSR, then the health authority will give a number, health authority number for each case. So next time the health authority will easily identify the ICSR. Okay, this ICSR is having a new version that will be go to the new the same ICSR. In terms of created a new health authority number, also new health authority ICSR. So these are all the important things in terms of duplicates. So attribution, I already told you. Reporter details is an important thing in terms of literature cases. Without that, we can't go ahead with duplicate process, and we have to follow up. For some cases it will be available as abstracts only. Even though if it is an abstract, we'll be creating an ICSR. So for a full information, full article information, excuse me, the reported details will be reporter will be contacted for follow-up information or for the full text, and it will be the information will be obtained from the reporter or else author. So it will be again submitted to the health authority. Okay, adverse events and important medicinal products, I already told you. I don't think so it has to be highlighted again. So the next topic is timelines. I hope we already covered. So, like I already told you, abstract, full text. Either it is an abstract or a full text. If it is having the suspected products, suspected event, identifiable patient or non-identifiable patient, reported details. Along with this, literature should have the title and journal, from which journal the information is getting and what is the title of the uh, literature, means abstract or full text, the title. Okay, so abstract, if a case is created from the abstract, an ICSR literature ICSR created from the abstract, it will be submitted to the health authority. The health authority will always ask for full information. The health authority won't stop for information. It wants an information from the or else it want all information. Okay, so the author or else reporter will be contacted stating that we identified this case or else we identified this information from our topic. So just give us the full information details, or else the important information what we have to submit to the regulatory authorities. So it is like that for full text. Anyway, full text, it will be having every information, each and every information. So I don't think so much it has to be discussed. But there are some situations or sometimes uh, like a full text will be created in terms of PubMed, for example. Again, the author has do extensive study, and new information was there. New information he identified, and he accumulated all the information, and he submitted the same literature case to the elsewhere elsewhere journal, stating that okay, this is the literature, and these are all the new information identified. So health authority should get all the information pertaining to that ICSR, because the health authority don't want to lose a single point in terms of patient safety. Okay, so again, when again we do a search from a timely manner, okay, we'll identify this new literature from the elsewhere. Previously, we identified the same article from PubMed, but now it is from elsewhere. So a duplicate check process will go ahead. Again, they'll identify, okay, this is a duplicate of that literature. They'll go through why again they published it in elsewhere. They'll see, okay, there are new information that has to be reported in this literature ICSR. So a new version will be created to the already existing ICSR, and all the information pertaining from this new literature from elsewhere will be added into the ICSR and submitted to the regulatory authority. So this is the process how we are doing for this literature ICSRs. Okay, so next comes. So these are all good case management practice. I hope everything I covered in terms of literature as well as normal cases. Just I want to highlight the role of narratives. See, narrative, I hope everyone would know. Narrative is nothing but a story narration, guys. So it's like a simple story narration. So we'll be narrating the patient safety information to the health authorities. Everything pertaining to the product information. What is the dose? What is the combination? What is the what is the brand the patient took? Everything. Okay. After that, what is the patient's adverse drug reaction information? Body of the narrative will say like, so it will be in a story manner, simple thing. I'll explain in a simple way, like some patient X took our patient Y drug. Okay, he has an important he has some adverse drug reaction stating that he is having flu, cough, as well as headache. So a physician identified it is what is we'll say the patient is having, for example, flu-like symptoms. Okay, or else influenza. It's a broader term. The patient identified these are all the symptoms of influenza. Okay, then we'll be at ICSR. The event level we will be capturing as influenza because all others are symptoms of influenza. While writing a narrative, because in narrative we have to give everything. So in narrative we'll be stating the patient, so and so patient is having so and so problem. So patient took our extra. So patient has this adverse drug reactions such as headache, flu, or else cold and fever. So after the physician clearly identified these are all the symptoms of influenza. So the event is influenza and will be processed according to it. So the narrative will be having, I'll tell you guys, I don't think so you guys will understand it or not, but I'll tell you simply. The narrative will contains the importance of when the case identified, or else the ICH data, or else day zero. I already told you guys understand that. Okay, so day zero of the article, and after that, what is the product, whether it is company product or generic. Even though if it is non-company product or else generic, since we don't know, we can't exclude that it is not our drug. So still we will report the case ICSR to the health authority. So by doing that, what is the brand name of the drug? What brand our pharmaceutical company is manufacturing? Okay, so after that, what is the drug section, or else the patient's medical history, previous past medical history, past medication history. After that comes the patient's current medication. Why? What is the important? What is the indication the patient taking the medicine? After that comes the major part. What is the event the patient identified? Excuse me. Then again, what is the after events information body of narrative? After that, causality attribution. What is the causality? Whether it is related or possible causality, or else not related causality or not reported causality. So it will be identified. Okay. So once this is done, then comes medical, whether it is the case is serious or not. If the case is serious, then what is the seriousness criteria? I hope everyone would have known what is the seriousness criteria in PV, at least for the final year students as well as internship students. So if not, anyway, I'll be telling. So there are total 6 important criteria to consider a case important or else serious, and the regulatory authorities will be given the serious cases within 15 calendar days. So I'll be getting with that. So first thing is death or else life threatening. These are all the major important things, and any case pertaining to death or life threatening, it should be submitted within 7 calendar days to the regulatory authorities. And after that comes hospitalization. Okay, hospitalization, the important medical, no, hospitalization, and uh, just a minute, sorry. Okay, hospitalization and life disability or else congenital disability, congenital anomaly, and so these are all serious cases. These three, as usual, 15 calendar days it will follow. So these 5 are serious cases. And other thing is important medical event or else medically significant event. These are all the events. So these will be considered as serious because if these events are left untreated, okay, then it will rise to the above said 5 events, like death or death, life threatening, hospitalization, congenital anomaly, or else a disability or permanent damage. Okay, so that is the importance of a medical, that is why medically important cases, even though it is a non-serious cases, this will, if left untreated, it will rise to the serious events. So it will be considered as serious events. So these are all the 6 criteria to be considered a case as serious. Okay, so what is the importance, whether the case is medically confirmed or else the case is the patient is hospitalized or else the patient died. So these are all the information will be given at end of the body of narrative. So these are all about narratives. Okay, so next comes follow-up information. Like I told you, like I already told you, every case should be sent for follow-up to the reporter or else author. Okay, even though if it is a full text article, follow-up report will be sent to the author stating that, okay, you shared that information, but kindly clarify from that point of time this point of time, because literature, it won't be like a everyday process. The literature, the study will be done like 6 months back, 3 months back, at least 1 month back. Okay, so 1 month back, because the publication time, it will take around 15 to 30 days, right? Even though if it is everything is perfect, it will take 15 to 30 days if in terms of monthly such monthly literatures. If it is a 6 months literatures or else annual literatures, then it will take more than that time. So that's why any information we want, we'll be contacting directly to the author, because anyway the corresponding author details will be given in every literature cases. So we'll be contacting the liter authors for the information. If any new information is there, we'll be collecting directly from the author, and we'll be submitting that into the ICSR and submitted to the regulatory authorities. So there is no information missed and there is no deviation, there will be no kappa to the pharmaceutical companies or also for the regular for no information missing to the regulatory authorities. So the patient safety information will be in a way that it is so good that the pharmaceutical companies will get a good impact from the regulatory authorities. So how the follow-up information should be done, anyway, this won't be important to you, and I don't think so you'll be understanding this. Serious and unexpected or expected, the events will be two types: expected events or unexpected events. So unexpected events, it will be submitted to the health authorities. If it is an expected event, it won't be submitted to the health authorities. So serious and unexpected events, since we have to submit it to the health authorities, we'll send for a follow-up information. If a follow-up information within the specified calendar days, 15 calendar days or 12 calendar days, if we receive, then we'll submit to the we'll attach the information and submit to the health authority. If not, we'll be submitting the same to the health authorities and we'll be simply silent. Okay. After that, serious and unexpected. Serious and expected events. Anyway, it won't be submitted to the health authority, but the event information will should be captured. Okay, and it will be kept aside. And non-serious and unexpected, and special set, pregnancy, lactation, all these type of cases, the follow-up information should be important, because the patient safety information, everything should be get everything should be submitted to the health authority without deviating. So it will be sent for follow-up, and all the information available will be submitted to the ICSS. And this is about follow-up information. So anyway, so this is small information, or else this is a limited information I can provide you in this limited time. Like I said, pharmacovigilance is not a small topic. It is a vast topic. Even though if I go on telling like this per year, it will be coming again and again. So this is all I can give you guys. So guys, any questions if you have, you can go ahead and ask me. Hello. 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 Yeah. Hello. Hi. If anyone have questions, you can go ahead and ask me. Hello, guys. If anyone have any questions, please ask. And Lakshmi Gopal, he raised his hand. You can just ask your question, or else you can send via message. Okay. Sorry, guys. Hello, guys. You can send me your queries via chat also. I can help you regarding that. Someone raised their hand, but I don't know whether they have this doubt or not. Lakshmi Gopal, I hope some person stated Lakshmi Gopal. He raised his hand. Please share your query via chat also. I can explain. So it will be, if anyone have the same query, it will be sorted out now only. Hello. Anyone's there?
సార్ మ్యూట్ తీస్తున్నాను సార్.
Hello.
నాకు హ్యాండ్ రేసింగ్ అయితే నేను తీస్తాను. హ్యాండ్ ఎవరు రేజ్ అవ్వలేదు.
Yeah. Hello, go ahead. Okay, then. If no queries are there, then I hope the session comes to an end. So I thank to the okay, Murali, go ahead. Murali raised his hand. Yes, Murali. Hello. So I'll consider the silence as no queries. Okay, if even though if you have queries, you can contact, you can reach me at my personal mail, dr.lakshmanamurthy@gmail.com, or else you'll collate your queries and share it to Mr. Eduguru Murali, Dr. Eduguru Murali, Professor Saiper. Okay, he'll be collating his queries and share to me. Okay,
Okay,
I'll
sir.
be replying
Thank you,
the,
sir.
yeah.
I am very happy to participate today national webinar. So
Yes.
thank you for all our participants and organizers of Sun Institute, sir. So I
Thank-
would like to express great thank you for today's our speech. Thank you, sir. And I hope all of our students get your valuable knowledge, share your valuable knowledge. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for the principal of Cyper and my personal friend, Dr. Eduguru Murali, for considering me for this. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.